Your Honor, the state also asked that you take judicial notice of the DNA report that was also recently filed with the court.
The court will also take judicial notice of the DNA report filed on January 16th of 2025, which shows that Mr. Francisco Sierra is 99.99% positive as the father of the child, Jacob Sierra.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, we do have some agreements in this case that I wanted to read into the record, and I'll also state the couple of issues that we have.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, the parties do agree that based on the DNA results that Mr. Sierra be adjudicated as the father of Jacob, the child herein, that the parties do agree that the child's last name remains Sierra. It is before and for it to be the same. The parties agree that Mr. Sierra's child support be based on minimum wage at this time. The parties agree that the child, Jacob, herein is covered under governmental health plan, and for Ms. Castaneda to maintain that plan, and for Mr. Sierra to pay $25 a month towards that plan. The parties also agree that the geographic be no restrictions, and that Mr. Castaneda be the primary with no geo restrictions. And the parties agree to use app close moving forward. And Your Honor, that's the extent of the agreement. And the issues are going to and the parties also agree for a double non-disclosure, that neither one's address be in the order, and I will have that testify as to this for that.
Okay.
And the issues are going to be conservatorship and possession access.
And are they in agreement on what child support would be?
If it's based on minimum wage, one child herein, 0 children outside, it will the guideline child support minimum wage for Mr. Sierra would be $227 a month.
And they're in agreement with that?
Yes, and I'll call each one to make sure that they're in agreement with that.
Okay.
State calls Mr. Francisco Sierra. Mr. Francisco Sierra, did you hear and understand what I just read into the record?
Yes, sir.
And are you in agreement with those terms?
Yes, sir.
Okay. State calls Ms. Castaneda. Ms. Castaneda, can you state your name for the record?
Nayeli Jimenez Castañeda.
And Ms. Castaneda, did you hear and understand what I just read into the record, the agreement that I just read into the record?
Yeah.
And are you in agreement with those provisions to be in an order?
For now, yeah, but in the future, it will probably have to get revised again.
Okay. Now, Ms. Castaneda, do you make decisions with Mr. Sierra regarding the child's medical, dental, and educational needs?
No.
Do you make these decisions by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. How old is your child?
He's 6 years old.
And during these 6 years, have you always made these decisions on your own?
Yes.
Okay. Now, have you tried to make decisions with Mr. Sierra?
I have communicated to him the decisions I have made, but he has never made a decision with me.
Yeah. Was he helpful in the past?
Depending on his mood. If he was in a good mood, yes, and if he wasn't, then not really.
Okay. Now, when you're making these decisions, you have to contact him. You had to contact him in the past when he was in prison, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Is that a yes?
yes,
And he's been in prison for mostly all of the child's life, right?
yeah.
Okay. Now, do you know, do you always hear when he's going to be getting out of prison?
For the most part, I get messages on text or email from attorneys letting me know that he's coming out of jail.
Okay. Were you told that he was going to be let out here recently?
Not recently. I didn't get no emails or messages. So to my
Okay.
understanding, I thought he was still in jail.
Got it. Now, uh, are you requesting that you continue making all decisions for the child, Jacob?
Yes, I'm requesting to be the primary one.
You're requesting to be the sole managing conservator.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. When was the last time Mr. Sierra visited with the child?
It was back in February of 2023, between February and March.
Okay. Now, where did that visitation take place?
He was staying at his friend's house so it was a couple, and they used to know his parents, and they would go to church with him, and that's where it would take place. That was like his current address where he was staying at. It was in Alvin.
Yeah. So it's been some time since Jacob has visited with dad.
Yeah, it's been some time.
Would you know that? Would Jacob know dad right now? If Jacob was in front of him?
Yeah, he would recognize him.
Do they FaceTime?
No. Ever since then, he hasn't had any communication with him, other than on
Okay.
his birthday. That was the only time that he talked.
What type of visitation are you requesting dad to have at this time?
I would like it to be supervised.
Okay. So are you asking for some type of phase-in type of visitation?
Yes.
Okay. So under phase one, are you asking that it be 1 to 5 on the first, third, and fifth Saturday for blank periods of possession? And you want this to be supervised?
Yes, I want it to be supervised, and I'm okay with that time frame.
Okay. And how many periods of possession would you want under phase one?
I was requesting for 20 periods.
Okay. And under phase two, it's the same uh period 1 to 5, first, third, and fifth Saturday of each month. How many but on phase two, there's no supervision. How many periods of possession do you want there?
This is without no overnights or anything like that. It will still be the same time frame.
Same time frame, but no supervision.
Okay. I was saying the same amount.
20?
Mhm.
Okay. Now under phase three, it's from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. first, third, fifth Saturday of each month. Kind of an all day with dad. How many periods do you want there?
That's for phase 3.
Yes.
I would say about 15.
Okay. And for phase four, overnights with dad, 6 p.m. on the first, third, fifth Saturday of each month and ending 6 p.m. on the following Sunday. How many periods of possession do you want there?
15 as well.
Okay. And then you're asking that it be the standard possession order after that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, ma'am, do you have any safety concerns?
Yes, because this last time that he came out, it was back in around June of 2024. I did get the messages that he was out. His family called me. His mom and his little sister had called me to let me know that he was out of jail. On June 15 and 16 of 2024, he called me and left
Not just to
voicemail.
be clear, it's not this last time that he got out.
No, not this
It's the
last time.
time
This-
before.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. He called me calmly, left voicemails. Now on June 20, that's when he started threatening. And that's when I
What
had
do
to call the cops and get cameras and have a gate in my house because it's just me and my two kids. And I do have safety concerns because I don't know, he's not okay mentally and emotionally when he's drinking or using drugs. So I do have those
Now,
safety concerns.
now, when you said that he threatened you, what did he say to you?
He told me not to be playing with him because he will literally burn me alive and kill me if I keep playing with him. And I do have the voicemail recording if you want to hear it. Again, this was on June 20th, 2024. And
And
that's whenever I installed my cameras in my house and got a gate in the front of my house as well.
And Ms. Jimenez Castaneda, do you know what he means by playing with him? Did something happen?
Because he wants to talk and see his son. But when he came out in 2023, I gave him that time. I gave him the benefit of the doubt that he could be mature enough and spend time with my son. And I was letting him, see him for a couple of hours and I would come pick him up. And then I progressed to letting him stay overnight. And that's when it got bad, where he would call me at 3, 4 in the morning, telling me to tell my son to put the seatbelt on because he was trying to run an errand while he sounded like he was drunk. So after that, it became a safety concern for me because how can I trust you having my son overnight when you were just doing good during the daytime? And you're calling me drunk, telling me to force my child through a phone call to put a seatbelt on at 3, 4 in the morning. Then the next morning, I'm calling him and texting him to go pick up my son, and he still seems drunk, like he hasn't slept over the whole night. So I found out that he went back to jail because of possession of weapon. And after that, I let it be the last time. I didn't answer phone calls. I didn't answer text messages because it's really frustrating and it stresses me out. That he's calling me, sending people to my house to leave messages or letters. And it's just a situation where I've went through domestic violence with him that I'm paranoid just by him being around my son because I gave him the benefit of the doubt back in 2023, spend time with him without any court, without any child support, without anything.
And was he ever arrested for any of the domestic violence that he did towards you?
No, at that time I was still very young and naive. I did call them and I didn't went through. The police guy gave me a little card with the case number, and then he told me you have to go to court and follow through in order to make a report for that. And since I was young and I was naive, I never went through with the whole court.
You can continue, Mr. Darkamontian.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Castaneda, now, if the judge does order some type of visitation under phase 1, it's going to be supervised. Who do you feel comfortable in supervising, or do you want somebody else supervising?
I would like to either be his mom or his dad or his sister to supervise.
Okay. Judge, at this time, pass the witness.
Ms. Jimenez Castaneda, does Jacob currently visit with his family?
He has a couple of times, not frequently, but it's just more on like holidays and birthdays.
Okay. And if y'all do visitation, do you want the exchange to take place in public?
Yeah, I requested for a public space.
Okay, where would you like for exchange to take place?
I requested in the Sugarland Mall.
Is that the name of the mall?
I think it's First Colony Mall.
Okay.
First colony mom. First colony mom, ma'am.
Okay. And do you know if his mom, dad, or sister would be willing to supervise the visitation?
Ma'am, I currently don't have any contact with any of them.
And yeah, just hang on a second, Mr. Sierra. I'm asking Ms. Jimenez.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jimenez, do you know if they would be willing to supervise?
I'm not sure about his mom, because I know she's also scared of him, but I'm pretty sure maybe his dad or his sister will be probably willing to.
Do you know of anyone else in your family that would be willing to supervise? If you're not comfortable supervising.
I would say either my mom. That's pretty much it that I have.
Okay, Mr. Sierra, do you have any questions for Ms. Jimenez Castaneda based on her testimony?
No, ma'am. I currently don't have any contact with my family.
Okay, hold on just one second, Mr. Sierra. Mr. Darkamangian is going to ask you some questions and get all the information out. Okay, go ahead,
Okay, no
Mr.
problem.
Darkamangian.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Sierra, did you recently get out of jail, sir?
Yes, sir. On February 26th of 2025, sir.
Okay. And then, isn't it true, Mr. Sierra, that you've been in jail for most of Jacob's life?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. How long have you been in jail?
I did a 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, and then I have gone to state jail 2 times. So I've been down a total of 6 times to the state. And
So how long is
has
that in years?
in years of approximately around anywhere from 10 to 12 years. I
Okay.
went down when I was 18. I'm 31. I'm currently 31.
Okay. Now, are you living in a halfway house right now?
I'm living at a halfway house, sir.
Okay. And you're not working right now, right?
I'm not working, sir.
Okay. Where do you live right now? What city?
I choose not to disclose that.
Sir, if
Okay.
you could tell us, we need to know at least the city that you're living in. She's not going to be able to find you by knowing what city you live in.
It's because this is the problem is that she says she says one thing about me threatening her and stuff like that, but she is the type of person that she will follow me all the way down here, and she provokes all that.
Okay.
She will come from wherever I'm at. It don't matter if I'm in Florida or if I get out of state. She is crazy enough to come. She provokes a lot of that stuff, man. All I want to do is just have a civilized conversation with my son. I do text her, miss. I had her, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I texted her last night, and I'm like, "Hey, Frank said this, Frank said that," from one of my phones because I gotta hide myself. I gotta hide my phone number from her. I don't have Facebook. I don't have any of that because of her. So
Okay.
her family
You
and
can
her.
continue.
Yep.
Just a second, Mr. Sierra. Let Mr. Darkamangian ask you some questions, okay?
Mr. Sierra, how many hours do you live away from Brazoria?
Approximately like about 6 hours.
Okay. So it's safe to say you don't live in the area.
I don't live in the area, sir.
Okay. Now, if the judge awards some type of orders some type of visitation,
I will go to Houston.
you'll do the pickup and drop off at First Colony Mall?
Everything, sir. And I'm willing to
you
pay for her gas and everything.
okay.
Whatever it takes her from her house to First Colony Mall, I'm willing to pay for that. And I'll do the pickup and drop off or supervise everything. I'll pay for that. I'm cool with that.
Now, who could be a person that could supervise the visitations?
Sir, I currently don't have no communication with any of my family. Nobody knows that I'm out. Nobody knew that I was out because I chose just to cut them off because a lot of my downfall is because of them. So
can your sister supervise?
I don't have no contact with them at all. We'll just do it through her mom. Her mom, I mean, I don't want nothing to do with my family.
Okay. Do you want it? Now you heard the visitation schedule that she's asking. Are you in agreement with that visitation schedule?
I'm cool with that, sir. I'm cool with that.
Okay. Now, do you want to make decisions regarding Jacob? Important decisions like medical, dental, and educational decisions?
Yes, sir. I'm saying this just for the judge. Like she says, she does inform me about what's going on, what decision she took, and what decision she takes in his life. And I come from a special ed background, and I believe in my heart that that's where I got institutionalized at as a kid because I was in 4th grade. And she recently just told me about 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, that he's in special ed, and I don't agree with that because I got institutionalized because of that. And I do want to take decisions on.
Okay, so you want to make
have
important decisions like that.
Of course,
So
that's my child's life, and I've
so you're
come from a
asking that
background like that. Oh, go ahead.
So you're requesting joint managing conservatorship.
Yes, sir.
Now, sir, did you you were also asking for a non-disclosure, right?
Yes, sir. Non-disclosure.
And do you have any safety concerns?
Yeah, like I said, sir, I have a problem with her and her family just harassing me all the way around. It's like she said, she's got a voicemail of me saying that I'm a killer and I'm gonna do that. Yes, sir. I mean, a lot of that is true, but it's provoked. They will come to my job sites. They will hit up. I have friends that come and tell me all the time, "Hey, look, such and such is hitting me up, and who's this to you, and this and this and that," and that's embarrassing, sir. That's really embarrassing because not only are they trying to discredit my figure or my person, they bring problems upon my life. You know what I'm saying? And that's she could put all the cameras. Like, I'm just trying to have a normal conversation with my son. And like I said, I'm willing to pay for his phone, buy him a phone, and I'll call him to the phone so I don't have to have contact with her. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Now, because you just got out of jail, are you looking for work right now?
Yes, sir. I'm currently looking for work, but I am on an ankle monitor, which is stopping me from doing everything that I'm supposed to do. And I'm coming off this ankle monitor in 2 weeks. So as soon as I do
Okay.
that, I'm able to do it and do whatever I want.
What kind of job are you looking for in a couple weeks?
I am a concrete finisher by trade and a salesman. So most likely I'm gonna go into concrete sales again.
Okay. Judge, pass the witness.
Ms. Jimenez Castaneda, do you have any questions for Mr. Sierra based off his testimony?
I don't agree with him taking decisions on
Okay,
my son's education.
And Ms. Jimenez, this is your chance to ask him questions, not to give testimony. So do you have any questions for him?
No, I don't have any questions for him.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Sierra, so what have most of your charge in the last 4 to 5 years, what have you been incarcerated for?
Oh well, look, man. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I've lived the lifestyle of a drug addict, uh, uh, alcoholic. So my charges have been from anywhere ranging from theft to unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, burglar buildings, um, uh, felon possession of a firearm, uh, domestic violence. Um, what else? I mean, that's the only ones I could think of.
Okay. Mr. Sierra, is there anything else you want to tell me before I make my ruling in this case?
I just want you to take into consideration, Judge, that on the decision making for him, I believe like she's a teacher herself, and she's not a bad person. She's a great person, great heart, and none of that. Her life has been on narrow on the straight path forever, and I don't think that she does bad decisions for him. But I don't agree with my son being in special ed because I come from that background, and that background messed me up since I was a little kid because I never had a normal class. I never went to a regular school. I never did what normal people did, and I have trouble to this day adjusting to the free world or adjusting
Sure.
to being around people. Being able to go eat to a restaurant, man, it's not normal for me. It's
Sure.
not normal because I'm so institutionalized, and that happened when I was a kid because I was in special ed. I rode the short bus by myself, man. I ate while everybody ate in their classes with their classmates. I ate during their breaks by myself at a big lunch, and I don't agree with that because I lived it. If I didn't live it, Judge, I would be like, okay, fine, do whatever you want. But I've lived it, and I'm speaking for experience what it did to me.
Mr. Sierra, do you know what kind of classes Jacob is in, if he has any friends or anything of that nature?
Yeah, she informed me of it. She told me that he recently they only prep him in the morning, which means he gets a I've lived it, so I know what they do. Basically, the first period in the first section of the I'm sorry, the beginning of the morning, they basically keep him in a class by himself or with two, three, or four, five kids, which is not normal. It's not normal at all because I lived it. Then they let him out to all his rest of the class being normal, but then they segregate him. And I don't think that created a trauma in my life, big time.
Okay.
That created a big trauma. I don't want my son going through any of that.
Anything else you want to tell me, Mr. Sierra?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Jimenez Castaneda, anything you want to tell me before I make my ruling?
I'm just, like I said, I do have my safety concerns. He does seem like a regular person. He can talk to you and he communicate with you. His problem is drugs and alcohol. Once he touches that, he's out of it. All those comments about me chasing him and all that, that comes with the illusion of using drugs for an extended period of time. He goes without sleeping for days, and it all comes with not being able to get a job, not being around his family, and him being depressed turns him into using drugs and alcohol. And like I said, those are my safety concerns. Until I know for sure that he's not a problem around drugs and alcohol and that's not in his system anymore. If I could request a drug testing for him to make sure that he's fine when he's around my son, that would be preferably. Like I said, I don't have an issue with him seeing his son, but I need to make sure he's stable enough mentally and emotionally and physically for our son, because my son right now, he has ADHD And at this age, they're like little sponges. They pick up anything. And sadly, most of the time, they pick up the bad stuff more than the good stuff. So I need him to be a good role model if he's going to be around my son, which is no cussing. Just teaching him good things and the right things, protecting his innocence as a child. And that's what I've told him in the past when I give him that benefit of the doubt. If you're going to spend time with my son, make sure you're being a role model. Not drinking in front of him, not using alcohol, not having him outside of hours that are not appropriate for a child to be outside. And if he can't comply with that, then I would like to request for a just, what is it called? Like, just for me to be the primary caregiver and until he figures out what he needs to do for his life, because at the end is for us to communicate and meet for the benefit of our child. And if he's not able to take care of himself, then what tells me he can take care of my child? And it's not about the money, it's not about all that stuff, it's about the fact that I need to be mentally stable and emotionally and physically. And he's been in and out of jail for the most of his life. He has not accepted help for his mental health. And that's all I wanted to add. I'm just not, he has not proven that he's a safe person around my son.
Okay. Any closing, Mr. Darkamongian?
Just briefly, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, we ask that you grant what the parties did agree on. We ask that you make appropriate rulings on conservatorship and possession and access and the non-disclosure. And we ask that you make this a temporary order, Your Honor, because it'll give a chance for Mr. Sierra out of the halfway house and hopefully get into a job where he can earn what he's that he has a skill towards. And also the state is requesting that that there be no drugs or alcohol 12 hours before the child's visit or during the visit, an injunction given the testimony that the state has heard today. And that's it, Your Honor.
Can I add something? Can I add something, Judge?
Just real quick, 1 second, Mr. Sierra. What date are you requesting the final hearing to be at, Mr. Darkamongian? Can we do September?
Yes, Your Honor. I can look at September dates right now.
What was your question, Mr. Sierra?
On the drug part and that I get drug tested almost every day, every 2 days. Every 2 days, I got a report. I live at a halfway house where there's drug tests on the daily basis, and I do it from parole and I do it for the halfway house. So
And how long are you going to be in the halfway house for?
I'm planning on being here a year, man, because like Miss Nayeli says that I do have a problem with drugs. I do have a problem with alcohol. And I finally, like she said, like she mentioned earlier, I finally accepted I needed the help.
Sure.
And I finally was like, you know what? Like I said, I don't have no contact with my family. No one knew I was out. Nayeli knows now, but she didn't even know I was out. The way I've been texting her, I tell her, hey, Frank said this, like if I was still in prison. That's how I've been communicating with her. I was acting like I was still locked up, but I finally came to my senses, and I'm like, you know what? I need help. I'm an institutionalized person. I'm real violent. I'm not gonna lie. I'm real violent because of what I've lived. I just needed the help of professional people that have been doing this for years. And since the moment I walked out of prison, man, I like God's been opening doors for me. It's just that my monitor is stopping a lot of the stuff that I need to do because I'm on.
Do you say you have a monitor? Like you have an ankle monitor? Are you okay? Did you say you have a monitor like an ankle monitor, or is a monitor?
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
have a GPS. I have a GPS monitor on.
Okay. Does your GPS monitor prevent you from coming to Houston to pick up your son for visitation?
It does not, ma'am. But for right now, like I was telling Mr. Gary, for the moment, I'm cool with just because I have done stupid stuff in the past, and I do realize that I intimidate Miss Nayeli, and like I said, if it's cool with her, with me just starting conversations with my son on the phone or through a video visit, I'm fine with that. If that's how she wants to start, I'm fine with that. And if I have to gain my trust back with her, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Okay,
But I want to start somewhere.
well, I just want to clarify, Mr. Sierra. Your ankle monitor does not prevent you from traveling.
No, ma'am. If I
Um,
if I choose to go to Fort Worth right now, I could go to Fort Worth.
Okay, and your ankle monitor, is it just monitoring your alcohol and drug intake?
It's monitoring drug, alcohols. It's monitoring my everywhere I go. Where am I at? What time am I at?
Okay,
It monitors everything.
and do you have transportation to drive down to Houston to visit your son?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Let's do this. Okay. I've heard all the testimony. I'm making my ruling. Okay, first of all, I'm going to approve the agreement that we have positive DNA showing that Mr. Sierra is the father of Jacob. Jacob's last name will stay Sierra. We will be using minimum wage today to determine child support and medical support. So child support will be $227 a month beginning April 1st. Medical support will be $25 a month beginning April 1st, with Ms. Jimenez Castaneda to keep Jacob on government health insurance. There will be no geographical restriction in this matter, and Ms. Jimenez Castaneda will be the primary to determine where Jacob lives in the future. There will be a non-disclosure for both parties, so both of your addresses and telephone number will be kept out of order, and both of you will be ordered to use the app Close app for any communication going forward regarding your son. That way, if you ever need to bring any documentation back, it'll be in the app and you can just bring it back for any future court dates.
Okay.
I want you to know that I've heard both of you and both of your concerns. I understand where you're both coming from. I appreciate Mr. Sierra for being honest about the fact that he does have issues in the past with not mental, but with drugs and alcohol and being violent. And I think the only way to move forward is to start slowly developing a relationship with your son, Mr. Sierra. I think slow and steady will help you out the most so that you can get to know him more and start developing that relationship with him. And my interest, the reason why I'm here is for the best interest of Jacob. So anything I order, I'm just looking out for Jacob's best interest. So for that reason, I am going to order a sole managing conservatorship. There will be visitation as ordered. There will be 20 visits on the first, third, and fourth Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m. at the First Colony Mall in Houston and Sugar Land. And those visits will be from 1 to 5 to be supervised by a competent adult of Ms. Jimenez Castaneda's choosing. Then there will be 20 visits on the first, third, and fifth Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m. unsupervised pickup and drop off at First Colony Mall. Then there will be 15 visits on the first, third, and fifth Saturday from 8 to 5 p.m. with pickup and drop off at First Colony Mall. Then there will be 15 visits on the first, third, and fifth Saturday from 6 p.m. to Sunday at 6 p.m. with pickup and drop off at First Colony Mall. Then it will be a standard possession order. In addition, I am going to order that Mr. Sierra can have electronic communication with Jacob on Tuesday evenings for 15 minutes between 7:30 and 8 p.m. I am also going to order that both parties are not allowed to use drugs or alcohol for 12 hours before or during any visitation with the child. This is going to be a temporary order. We're going to reserve final visitation child support, medical support, any retro for final hearing. And what is a good date for that in September, Mr. Darkamanjian?
September 16, 8:30.
Okay. We're going to come back on September the 16th at 8:30 for final hearing to see how visitation is going, how you're doing, Mr. Sierra, and how things are going for you, Ms. Jimenez, as well. This will be the ruling of the court for now. So for now, I'm going to put you back in your waiting room. Mr. Darkamanjian is going to go over the order with both of you, what's been ordered today, answer any questions you have, and then he will excuse you from there. So Ms. Castaneda, I'm going to send you to room 49. And Mr. Sierra, I'm going to send you to room 50.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Thank you both.
Thank you.